Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mass Effect 1, Legendary Edition. So this is the whole part where we go across the ship and talk to everyone. Part 1. Cause you know it's coming. You know it's coming. Sadly, these two are not as relevant as, like, the crew that's in, Mass Effect 2 that sits here and actually talks. These two are just help. I could finish my Medicho here, but I haven't really used my Medicho since, well, like the first mission. Dr.
Yes,
Chuck
Commander?
was...
Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
Pretty sure
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
See, here's the thing. Like, in Mass Effect 3, you could choose between taking Dr. Chakwas as your doctor for the ship, or you could take Dr. Michelle. Michelle says she isn't into the whole healing soldiers thing, she's more into her private practice. Which is like the complete opposite of Dr. Chakwas Hill. So this is why I usually take Dr. Chakwas. And the fact that she's been with us for two games and then the choice, so.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
You know, you'd think we'd be able to comment on this if we were biotic, but, well, I didn't actually choose a biotic class now, did I? I chose soldier and then just tossed in a few biotic
What does that have
powers.
to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain.
You're gonna
There's
go
a long
all
list of
car on me.
horrific side effects.
Question the dark
Caden's lucky.
side.
He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
And this room isn't relevant for a while. Also, I like how these right here. So these things right here. They're in the medical area. Yet at the same time, Bioware can't decide if these things are medicine, can't decide if they're drinks, can't decide if they're potions, can't decide what they are. So it's either medicine or an alcoholic beverage, or some sort of potion. All we know is it's purple. Well, you only get fatigued, you don't get an officer
Anything
uniform?
you need, Commander?
But you're a lieutenant. You think they'd give you something. Anyway, what do you think?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal
Bitch, we haven't even talked. God, I hate that times. It's like, we just arrived to talk to him about, stuff. And he's like, nope, there's nothing to talk about. What?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Oh, we're
I
gonna
don't
talk
see
about
how we
Eden
could have done
Prime.
things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Well, apparently we can't, Probably not gonna romance Caden. I mean, we could. But yeah, just, by the way, nothing to talk about. It's one of those things that bothers me at times. It's like, hey, we finally reached it. We can talk to people. No, it's not time yet. And sleeper pods with like the long haul space. Do we even have enough sleeper pods for everyone? Probably not. Then there was technically hardcore. It's a thing. Yep. But today with the fish tank, all we have is a few lights. I know, right? Very minimalist. Don't have the gunnery area. Well, we don't even have a really kitchen over here, do we? We just have a place with chairs. Yeah. And the Mass Effect 1 is like I remember back in like Jedi Knight Academy, like a certain space yacht map that was made. Like it reminds me of like the first initial map of that. It's very minimalistic. And then the second version was, oh yeah, we added, you know, a lounge and everything else to it. It was a lot bigger. It reminds me of like that concept, but basically, yeah, it's very minimalistic, and yeah, at the same time, it could be much more. And that's what they did in Mass Effect 2. Alright, I'm being stupid. I need to go back down and go to the elevator, because there isn't an elevator uphill. Durr. Has there really been this long since we played Mass Effect 1? No, it hasn't. I don't know why I'm not good. I'm forgetting such. Because literally, everyone else is downhill. Caden's like the only one up there, and Liara, once we get her. Everyone else is downhill.
Looking for supplies?
You have
Let's see what you
everything I
got.
need,
You bet,
practically.
Commander.
It's expensive, but you have everything I need. Oh, I will. Well, there goes a chunk out of our money. The problem though is I need like another set of all of that, basically. And here's the thing, the rest of the shit, meh. So now we can have a super rats. Super rats. Rats, where's your locker? Super rats. I'll hold back on the sniper rifle because, yeah. Yeah. Alright, time to go talk to everyone.
Commander,
How we doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
We never trained to fight synthetics. The Geth haven't gone beyond the Veil in 3 centuries.
Our training's supposed to make us able to adapt. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
What?
Dismissed, Chief.
Oh, okay, no one wants to talk. Rats, do you want to talk?
Nice ship you got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's up?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
No, it isn't.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
Exactly. Don't try
I
to
don't
compare.
expect you to understand.
Exactly.
But don't compare
Like
humanity's
Sophie,
fate with
what
the
the fuck?
Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out.
Here's the problem.
And most of us never go back.
They're warriors. They're basically a race that's only known pretty much war. And fighting. And battle. And they repopulate excessively fast. So yeah. I'm pretty sure the choice in Mass Effect 3 is... like, it's a paragon choice. You get killed with the genophage. It's such a good idea. It's not, actually. It's one of the worst things you could probably do on the galaxy, because, congrats, you got rid of the Reapers. And you flooded the galaxy for Krogan. There's Krogan on literally every world. In a matter of years, just poof, the entire galaxy is just flooded with Krogan. And it was your fault.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Mass Effect 2.
Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage?
Actually, Mass Effect
or fight
Andromeda
for
was the
credits?
last time.
He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
There's also the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda, there's like all these female Krogan compared to the rest of the series. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Mass Effect Andromeda. It's not as bad as people made it out to be. It suffers from... well, it's almost like they took a Ubisoft aspect to it, with the whole... we made this big open world, and we want you to go explore and find all this shit, and do all this stuff, and, you know... establish, basically, the bases on these planets and everything. But at the same time, it's very dull. Like, it's almost boring as shit trying to explore those worlds, because they're just... most of them are just open, and there's not much to actually do, except for when you get to a location, and a lot of it's just driving around in the Mako, and hey, it's like Mass Effect 1. Well, it's not as bad as Mass Effect 1, it's just open world planets where you just drive on the Mako and fall off, bouncing around. Anyway,
Shepard.
that's all we can
Rex.
say. for now. Garrus, if I remember, has a lot more
Thanks for bringing me
potential
on board,
dialogue.
Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
Garrus has
Without
several...
CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Garrus has several flags. Well, it's basically, are you going to lead him more towards the CSEC way or the Spectre way?
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Exactly. So long as you keep murdering things with a sniper rifle, I'm fine with
Commander, good to see you.
that. And see, he reaches this point. Well, hey.
Commander, how are you?
It means, hey, you can't actually talk to him. That's fine. We'll move on. Terry. Or actually, Intro Adams.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted
it's her class. She has entirely too much tech.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day.
You have
to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Well,
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Terry.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Well, this ship's
The
special.
Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no
You're
idea you
into
found ship
ships?
technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Well, there you go.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most.
Hence the suits.
By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
So let's talk about the favorite subject.
Like what?
Let's talk about them
I want
Geth.
to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Well, time to hear this again, everyone.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
So basically, they created a robotic, synthetic race to, you know, do stuff. Like, you, go pick up that can. That's right. Now put the can in the trash can. That's pretty much what they made.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal.
Sure you did.
The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brainpower?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
So here's the thing, basically, if they can connect with each other, but at the same time they're all technically individuals. Which, yeah. I don't get.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter
like
when they gather in large numbers.
They get smarter when there's more of
As we
them.
built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose?
I'm pretty sure the question was,
As you can imagine, this
do I
caused a
have
near
a soul?
panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves.
well, you were.
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Yeah, take a second to think about that. Okay, so basically, you create a subservient race, basically. Let's say, sure, they're synthetics, but you create a subservient race. Then they start thinking for themselves like, oh, why are we here? Do we really want to do all this manual labor? This is wrong. They start thinking the thoughts like that. And your first instinct is, let's fucking kill them all, basically. Yeah, no wonder they did. It was your fault.
You're the ones who started the war. The Geth were just fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exiled, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Yeah, well, they defended themselves. So.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
Exactly.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Self-reliance, making sure though you don't get wiped out. Hard to trust things.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The
Well,
Geth are
there's
not
that.
innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I always use the Geth example in this with, like, in a lot of games, like how I use in Guild Wars 2 with the whole... It's one of those examples of basically, hey, we designed this race that looks completely... to make them look evil, right? I've used this example in Guild Wars 2 with the Char several times, too. But basically, okay, so... It's one of those things that bothers me. Basically, the first game makes this race look entirely bad. Like, oh, they're murdering all these people and all this. But then, the second game makes them look less bad. And then by the third game, it's like, but the Quarians were at fault. The Quarians were the ones who instigated everything. Like, here's the thing, if you just played from, like, the start, with, like, Mass Effect 1, yeah, sure, the Geth don't look... Yeah, they're a bunch of sentient machines that are murdering everyone. To be fair, they are murdering everyone. That is a thing. That is happening. Because, you know... they don't really know better, because they think, oh, if we do this, the Reapers will return. And then we can have, you know, these gods that don't actually give a shit about us. Like, why would the Reapers really give a shit about them? And the thing about the Reapers is, they don't care for organic life. They don't care about synthetic life. They go, they wipe out everything, they make more Reapers, and then they, you know, go back into dark space. That's the whole thing. Like, they don't care about the Geth. They don't care about organics. The problem with how this is written is like, yeah. It's like if you didn't know about what happens in Mass Effect 3, spoilers, yeah, you wouldn't really have an incentive to really defend the Geth. But
I want
him...
to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you any. All I know is the story of... Over time, but one thing we underestimated was
what made them rebel?
As you can imagine, this caused a near...
What did you do?
A general order went out across all Quarians.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth
We
were
had no
already on
other
the
choice.
Hope.
I want you to think about
We
that.
feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your
We
ancestors.
made a mistake. If we had not acted, they would have went. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy?
They
Why
didn't
do
kill
you think-
Saren.
What does that?
Yeah,
They're the
like-
enemy. See you later.
The problem is Towie's one of those like, imagine that your entire culture is basically told that, hey, the Geth are bad. We made them, and then they tried to murder us all. Because we tried to murder them. And then, yeah. And that makes it right? No. No, it doesn't. But yeah. That's why I can't really like Quarians. I like Towie. Because Towie starts to eventually, she grows over time. She has that aspect at least. More explained in Mass Effect 2. But I don't really like Quarians in general, just because, okay. So you decided to create, you know, a subservient slave race, basically. And then as soon as they start asking questions, you try to murder them all. And then you guys basically Pikachu face when they decide to fight back. Yeah. It's a bit stupid if you think about it. Anyway, I guess we literally talked with everyone. Time to go dick around in space. Space dickery. Good old space dickery. Cause yeah, we don't really need to do anything here with the server now. Eat. Let's see, so there's no Vera, there's Astra, there's the Arstic side. Probably want you to just go pick up the R first, but at the same time, I usually go do side stuff, so I'm just gonna go dick around these other ones that don't have a location. Oh, only Sentry? Okay. Let's go back to where we were before we decide to go back. Yeah, probably head back to the Citadel. Hell, when will we head back to the Citadel? Probably after the R's. So I know I'm gonna have to head back. I need to have quests pop up. Okay. Since we don't scan anymore, we just sort of do this. We survey. And you find a medallion, which scan the planet. The RePlay, you discovered a tiny moon with some arteries. Forward scans by Chief Engineer and revealed a destroyed escape pod. Sarah uncovered the components and found a leak of one medallion. Usually mostly systems, there's at least one planet you can land on. For scanning this asteroid, you found a large spot of palladium. Like for example, Prescott Hill. We can land. Clintagon. It's just there. We found cobalt. Also, sometimes you can see the shiny aspects of one of those asteroids in the belt. It's hard to see though at times. You have to literally wait for a flash. But yeah, it helps to scan over all of that. Okay, so we pretty much explored everything here except Prescott. It's a moon. It's a frigid barren world. And we're gonna go land on it. So, we're gonna take Ritz and Garrus. Because I think Garrus has the ability to open things now. Yeah, I think I got that. Hopefully. If not, well, it's gonna be a bit complicated. Also, I need to check my journal to see what actual quests I have going on. So, finally, our go to Novera, go to Favors. What else we got? We have this. Find materials. There's also the ones where, you know, find Solarian artifacts. There's also things for offers, but yeah. So when you go this place in the Artemis Tower thing, we need to go to place in Haze Gamma. We need to go to place of Freighter in Haze Gamma. We need to go to place in the hand system to get my Sigma card. There's nothing really in the area we're at right now. The thing is, I have a mod that basically reveals all the shit so I don't have to spend, you know, a whole time skirting the outskirts to find, you know, these resources here. Take note of that warning there, though. Take note of that warning, though. You ready for this? There's a reason why that's marked as a warning. I'm sure you know why it's marked as a warning. Cause guess what's over here, everyone? If you guess that, you're correct. Hi. Well, that's way too close. The thing is, it's not going. Oh god, I just realized Mako now fall. Oh no. The Mako now follows my fucking mouse. That's... Yeah, no wonder we died. Oof, that makes it harder to dodge. Yeah, the Mako now just goes where my mouse is. Like, I'm trying to turn manually, it's like, yeah. Is there a way I can change that? I'm not okay with that. Turn on to steering to be relative to the current camera touch. No, turn that fucking off. God, no. Like, yeah, I prefer just going straight and not, so I can actually aim my gun. Because, yeah, that's a problem, though. If you're trying to aim your gun while driving around this thing, and it's like, well, you're just going to turn towards it now because camera steering. Oh, it... I don't remember how much 7th century control before. Oh jeez, that thing is nice. Oh, that was literally everywhere now. Like, all over the screen. Not sure how I like the new attraction Mars. though. I'm not sure how I like those. Oh boy, those. Yeah. At least I can tell where it's gonna pop up now, but oh, it's just... Oh, so is it... I don't think it's repowering. I think it's stopped repowering, actually. We're still half destroyed here. So, yeah, that's a thing. New Thershima. It's... Oh, so yeah, the thing barely repels. Like, do we even really need to stop moving after repel? What sucks though is I can't repel until it stops doing that. Because it used to be you would have to stop to protect yourself and all that. Now if we can keep driving while repelling, it's actually useful. So yeah, now we know what Thershima is on the map, so we can't just be spooked by them now. Alright, time to go look at literally everything on fire. I know, this here is I know this here is very boring and all, but yeah. Just think of this here as Mass Effect Andromeda. We need to go explore new things. And yeah, this definitely does feel like it handles a bit better. Well, until we do that. It's got to prefab utility tracks have a distinctly ramshackle look. The road tracks leads away over the mountain, bridge to the southwest. Well, here's the thing, if they're heading to the southwest, they'd be heading that way, wouldn't they? No, don't return to the Normandy. How do I leave my vehicle? Q. Yay, easy decrypting. Thing is, we don't really need them, but you know. Shrug. Loot. I think we're gonna want a shield generator to go for a medical thing, probably. But yeah. Anyway, now we move on to the next location. Yeah, let's see how well the Mako handler's going up steep cliffs. I mean, Andromeda had the fact that you had your regular drive, and then you had your drive that let you climb. It's not bad. Yeah, and this thing is no longer as bad about, flipping yourself. It also corrects better. See? Yep, you still can get turned around though. But yeah, going down this, not as it's not as bad as it used to be fair. We're no longer just landing and getting flipped in the opposite direction.
Redeploying.
Well, hey, we found some ancient debris. Poke it. Yeah, the same mechanics used constantly. So hey, digging under the beacon, we put a piece of scrap metal likely from a very old freighter. It's marked on one side with a thing. You got Turian inscription. You gain some XP, some money.
On my way.
Hey, we found where the tracks went. The tracks went to this, didn't they? Found this rover was crumpled in from impact. A glance inside told you the occupants, probably a team of illegal wildcat miners, are dead. Debris still sliding down the furrows left by its tires, sliding in the narrow vacuum atmosphere. So somehow they flipped the thing and it went boof. Hopefully we don't make the same mistake trying to climb up now. Then again, this thing's a lot more durable unless you're fighting Thracians. Thracians are, you know, bad. Now here's the good thing. It didn't one-shot us. Because normally if you get hit by Thracian acid, your thing's pretty much destroyed. Pretty much. What? Electronics go too low. Garrus, what the fuck? Alright, Garrus doesn't have electronics yet. No, Garrus, no. But the crash probe, Garrus. The crash probe. Ah, that's a shame. He needs at least another level. And even then it might be an average one just to mock us. And partial tower. Yeah, you can see why they got rid of that mechanic. Cause it's very RPG though, if you think about it, with the whole... Basically, you need a thief to open chests. Especially that sort of mechanic. Well, you need a thief for lockpicking to open chests. See, here's the thing, if it wasn't for the warning, this area over here would concern me. It's a big open area. Big open areas are not something I'm fond of, to be honest. So where am I? Wait, I just realized something. Do I even have Kyle's thing on my quest? I don't see Kyle's thing here on the quest. Oh, here it is. I didn't go all the way down. We are at Major Kyle's thing, aren't we? Yeah, I thought this looked familiar. I was just like, wait a second. Oh, so that really stands out, doesn't it? The gold actually looks like gold now. I want to point that out. The gold actually looks like gold. Just look how big of a pile that is. Just imagine you could find that on Earth, how rich you would be. Like, how would you even move that? Look at that. Just big old clump of it. Okay, so this is the comp. So, there's usually two instances of how places on planets work. You have this one hill, then you have that one there. This one hill...
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
My name is Commander Shepard. Major Kyle knows me. I have to speak to him.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
I'm pretty sure they mean this one. So yeah. We have basically this one, which they can vary the stuff in it, but for the most part, you go in, you go through that door.
We can't trust the Alliance.
Can't trust the Alliance. They get used to this layout. And then in here, those depends on how they want to place the crates. Yeah, I'm sure they won't mind me just, you know, lockpicking this. Not the worst. They have a door at this side. And then you have two paths. One that goes this way and one that goes that way. It's just how they made these things. Wait, I forgot a second. Reds, I forgot to actually put this on your armor. Yes. Bonus, you can put on another thing, and yeah. Do I want you to have a shield? Probably shield. We can't actually put on that, because my armor's not that great.
If you try to take Father Kyle away from us, you'll end up like those other Alliance soldiers.
Is that a threat? Because I can respond to threats. Hackett gave me permission if there were threats.
I know you, the Butcher of Torfan. Why have you come here, Shepard? Why can't you leave us alone?
You killed 2 Alliance officers. You had to know how this would end.
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back
problem is
on
I
my
don't have
family.
the.
They spoke
I don't think I have the dialogue
blasphemy.
checks.
I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you are endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
Yep, I figured as much. I can't do anything. These fucking dialogue charts are gonna piss me off. Bonus, I can't just leave the conversation either, so.
You're not leaving me much choice, Major.
I speak, but you do not hear. You are like the others. A blasphemer who must die.
Well.
You must die!
Part of me is like, yeah, I need I need to do something about that freaking lack of intimidating charm. It's really starting to bite me in the ass now.
Clear.
Like, it's really starting to bite me in the ass. Like, I want to do quest. Nah, you don't have the dialogue check. Like, okay, fine. I'll be right back. Fucking dialogue checks. Okay. I think I actually sort of preferred the Gibbed save editor than this one. Oh, so did we actually level up? Yes, we did. So I added, instead of 4 points, I added a number 8. Just so I could do this. There was 4 there, I can't make it go up any higher. But yeah, it's definitely starting to bite me in the ass, this whole... Okay, well, you're not gonna get nearly enough points to actually, you know, pass half these checks. There we go. Now, yeah, sniper rifles a lot. Good. You still need to get fitness and other things. And I still need to work on my biotic powers. I could get you Master Overkill, but I could also get you Advanced Carnage. Yes. Garrus, need to get Sniper Rifle unlocked. Well, the problem though is you need to get up to that. But yeah. Also, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't do that because I need to do this first. Forgot about that. I need to go over here. Oh yeah, he has advanced decryption. Yeah. Guess where his net's for gonna go. Yeah, and I think I can't assign talent points to our allies, sadly. Unless I did that SP thing. Which is unfortunate. But yeah. Like, he could get Master Sabotage, which means hard he can use on that, but I need to get him up to Advanced Overload, I need to get him up to Sniper Rifles. Ugh, unfortunate. Anyway, though. This here is not the best place to use this Sniper Rifle, mind you. So yeah, checking weapons, making sure I have everything. Okay, sniper rifle's not the best thing to use against a bunch of Biowares that want to run up into almost melee range. I've always liked the shotgun and the sniper rifle in this. So they're a bunch of Biowares, they want to reach, you know.
I will destroy you!
Thing is, this thing's... yeah. Since this thing relies on that, you can fire as many times as you have that. It's not like the, you know, the Widow Maker. I mean the Black Widow in there. Turns out I resisted your effect. I think they hit me with warp. It didn't really work that well, did it? I think so too, rats. So do we want to go to the upper building and, you know, promptly murder their entire people? We could just leave. But no, we're just gonna go murder a bunch of crazy biotics. Because we're that sort of ass. We didn't have to murder all of them. No, I kept pressing after X. Q. But we're going to anyway. Damn, that was my bad. That was a good throw. That was a real good throw.
I will destroy you!
I will destroy you. I think they'll buff me. Oh, no,
Take cover!
Yeah, in my opinion, I still think I prefer Andromeda to this biotic combat. Just cause with the ability to, you know, dash and L and jump and all that, it's actually more fun because you can just charge down from the L, smack something, shockwave. don't remember what else I had. Was it Nova? I know it was Charge and Shockwave, but what was the third one?
I will destroy you!
I will destroy you.
I got him, Commander.
Yeah, what was the third one? Andromeda Biotic Powers, yeah. No, not Bash, just in general, what are the powers? I just need to look this up real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was Nova. Yeah, Charge, Nova, Shockwave. I don't think it was Annihilation. Maybe, was it Lance? Lance wasn't too bad. Singularity, I didn't really use Singularity. I think it was probably Nova, Shockwave, and Charge. Definitely like Charge in that more than I liked it in Mass Effect 2. Yeah, I also want to point out Mass Effect 2 definitely has a more accurate hit chance on enemies. So that's gonna be fun when we actually do that. As well, I'm not sure if we're gonna go for one by you know, Vanguard. I have to see what I'd have to compare basically bonuses and stuff. Okay, I think we just leave. I thought we murdered them all. And it's like, hey, we can head back to, you know, the Normandy. We could head back to the Normandy. But, yeah. But the problem, though, is mercenaries. We need to go collect this other stuff first. Yeah, I do sort of like that, the whole, okay, so you did sort of, you went a bit off the ground and you landed, and it didn't fling you backwards somehow. Like, it seems to stay straight a lot of the times, which is pretty good for the make, though. It did make it a lot better driving on this, because the jank is less well. And oh boy, did it have some jank. I was nice about it. It feels like it has better traction to it too. I wouldn't call this level ground, but sure. Uranium. Let's poke it with a stick. And lastly, let's do it. Mercenaries. Then we can leave this one. I will destroy you. Pew pew. Rockets are bad. But yeah. Okay. Oh, hi. Pew.
That's it. Bag 'em and tag 'em.
So yeah, just some random mercenaries out here. They have like almost nothing to do with the whole Farber Kyle thing. They're just here. I don't even know if they had loot. Apparently they had loot. Ooh, Silverback too wouldn't have to be that bad for you, would it? Yeah, okay, it is that. I was almost afraid it was gonna be light armor. Man, not terrible. Okay, and I want to return to Normandy now. We did the thing. We can leave the planet. We could potentially go try to talk to people on the ship. I think I have to try to leave before Paco will be like, hey, you did the thing. I need to talk to you about the thing you did. Kaden, do you have anything to say? You're always so sweaty over here. Well, actually, he doesn't look that sweaty like he
Anything
used
you need,
to.
Commander?
Just trying to get a sense
I've wasted
of
enough of your time for now.
We'll talk another
Commander?
time.
No one wants to talk. Well, fine, be it that way. I'm gonna go down and talk to people down here. Maybe Rex will tell me a story. Garrus!
Commander, good to see you.
Shepard?
Rex.
Commander? I'm sorry. I wouldn't mind talking. Ma'am?
No one wants to talk to me. Yeah, I think we haven't actually advanced enough plot. I forget how the mechanics work in Mass Effect 1.
Hey, Shepard. You need something?
I should go.
See you later.
Because eventually they're going to give me side quests. I just don't remember when the side quests are. How about
Looking
you?
for
Do you
supplies?
have more Spectral? Because
Let's
you
see
have
what you
more
got.
You bet,
Spectral.
Commander.
Oh my god, I love you so much. He has Spectral. Oh, that is great. I don't care if it takes out a big chunk of my money, that is great. Mantis Gill. That is good Scorpion Gill. Probably didn't need to buy both of those. In fact, I know I didn't have to buy both of those. Oh well. So this means I can equip Garrusworth before said. Well, Rats. Guess what, Rats? You're getting a sniper rifle. Do you need a sniper rifle? No, you don't need a sniper rifle. Garrus, you definitely need that, though. There we go. Now we all have very good weapons. They're not, you know, 10-ets, but I don't know why I say 10-ets. It's just ets. Just 10, but still. And about time the end of the video, isn't it? Okay. I think we'll call it here. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all, and have a nice day. Next time we go, explore more of the galaxy. Fun times.